Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the pound-for-pound best radio show around the world, it's Leave It in the Ring.
So, Freddie, let's get right down to how has training camp been right now for Manny getting prepared for Joshua Clottey?
Well, you know, we're 3 weeks out right now, and he's right where I want him to be. He boxed 9 rounds yesterday with 3 sparring partners. Stevie Forbes came in yesterday as a new sparring partner his first day with Manny. Stevie did okay, but Manny's speed gave him a little bit of trouble, but he's on weight already. And actually, we have to feed him 5 times a day to keep the weight on him. And he's on fire right now, and he's ready to go.
But this last fight with Miguel Cotto, he had decided to stand there in front of Miguel Cotto and Manny allowed Cotto to land some shots. And I know you weren't about that. Have you stressed that to Manny about maybe not doing that with Joshua?
Well, we've talked about it, of course, and the thing is, he just felt that he needed to prove something to himself and to Cotto at the time. And I told him, if you take him to the ropes, I said, now let's be productive off the ropes and let's work on it. So we are practicing on the ropes. We will take him to the ropes sometimes, but we're going to use a lot smarter strategy on how to take care of that when he does get caught in the ropes. But for the most part, I don't want him on the ropes. But if he feels the need and he sees something, we will go there. We have a beautiful counterpunch set up for that. So hopefully he will come.
The criticism has been, I'm pretty sure you've heard about it, is Oscar was weight drained, right? Hatton was not a great fighter.
Well, you guys didn't say that before the fight, though.
Right.
That came after the fight, okay? So
right,
I think
right.
That's bullshit. I think Manny Pacquiao beats Oscar in his prime just as bad as he did because he can't fight southpaws or speed. So I don't think he was weight trained.
Right.
I don't take that into consideration. He knows how to get ready for a fight his whole life.
Absolutely, I agree with you. But this is a question I got for you because, like I said, those criticisms have been thrown out, even with Miguel Cotto. There's some people that say, oh, Miguel's a shell of himself, But this one here, this particular fight here, I think you have to agree with me that this is a prime fight. There cannot be any excuses about you guys picking to fight Joshua Clottey because this is a dangerous fight, right?
Agreed, but the thing is, since the Mayweather fight didn't happen, there was really nowhere else for us to go. We had to pick the best guy available, and Clottey is that guy. The thing is, I have a lot of confidence in my fighter, of course, but I know he's a very difficult guy. I respect him as a fighter. I respect him as a human being. He's a gentleman, and he knows how to fight. I just have a lot of confidence in Manny. We have a really, really good game plan for Clottey. The thing is, we just got to pull the game plan off, and I think we can make it look a lot easier than it is, of course, because he is a tough guy, and we do have to respect his power and size.
There's been some talk saying that the rumor is if you guys are successful over the Ghana Warrior and whoever's the winner of the Mayweather Mosley, if you guys don't get the winner of that fight, that's it. You guys are just gonna retire the gloves and walk away. Is there any truth to that?
Well, we've talked about that because I don't want Manny to stay in the game too long. I don't want to be one of those guys that was fighting beyond his best years. I know Manny has a lot of fights left in him, but he has a lot of other interests. And if he happens to win the election in May, this could be our last fight. Yes.
Have you had a chance to run into the Mayweathers? They said a lot of bad stuff, and you said right now Manny is upset. But seeing that Manny's this upset, does it still build interest in your guys' part to continue in the wanting to get them in the ring? Because the fact is, a lot of the times when somebody has so much rage and hate for them, they're not fighting their game plan anymore.
That's something I have to be careful with, of course. The thing is, we're getting Manny ready if Mayweather does come to the table. And of course, if he beats Shane, make some really adjustments mentally for Manny, and not have him go into the fight angry. And Manny will go with the game plan, and he's pretty good at sticking to the game plan nowadays. we worked really hard on it. And the thing is, I won't let that anger get to him. But we never know until it happens, though, of course. So, but I think I can pretty much control Manny's emotions. But I mean, he wants Mayweather next so badly, and the thing is, they both need to win their fights, of course, and we're not going to give Mayweather any edge at all, though. He wants the Olympic-style drug testing, all this bullshit. We're not going to give him nothing, because if you give him something and he becomes bigger than the commission, bigger than the sport, it's like giving the first 2 rounds away, giving him confidence and so forth. We'll go by the Nevada Commission rules and by the sanctioning body rules, and that's the rules we're going to go by. If he doesn't want to fight us at those rules, then he can go fight some girl.
Freddie, I want to move away from that really quick. I want to talk about the young 17-year-old kid that got signed by Tom Brady and walked into your wild card gym, Jose Benavidez, and you decided to start training this young prospect. What did you see about him, and what made you go, hey, I think we got something here?
It's funny because he comes to my gym, and I didn't know who he was or why he was there. Someone told me he's a pretty good fighter from Phoenix, and I was paying no attention to him for the first couple of days. Me and his father spoke, and he says, this is the guy that we called about and so forth. But the person that was setting the meeting up never confirmed it, and so I didn't really know that was him. And so one day I'm watching him box, and I says, I said, who is this kid? He can fight. I mean, he got in there with one of my veteran pros and just ate him up. And I says, hey, and I went to his dad and I says, now I know who you are. I says, because I ignored them for a couple of days, and it was embarrassing for me a little bit because our communication lines get crossed a little bit. But the thing is, this kid can fight. I mean, he sparred with Manny twice last week, and he did okay. I mean, someone said Manny beat him up a little bit. I says, well, he's 17 years old. I says he's in there with the best fighter in the world. I said I was very, very happy with him because he does like to go to the ropes like Clottey a little bit. So he's similar in that when he does that, and he's got some height. He doesn't have Clottey's power yet, but the thing is, he's only 137 pounds, and he has 2 pro fights now, and he is only 17. And for a 17-year-old to get into a Manny Pacquiao and hold his own, I'm very proud of him. And Ircon also, and him and Amir, I mean, some days they're about 50-50. So, I mean, his experience is getting better and better in the gym.
I know originally people thought he was going to fight Maidana because Maidana was the mandatory, and now he's slated to fight Paulie. Do you think that there's any chance that we're going to see Amir fight either a Marcos Maidana or a Timothy Bradley maybe by the end of this year?
I think so. The thing about Maidana is nobody knows him yet. I mean, they know more. He's starting to get a little recognition when to be Ortiz, of course. But the thing is, I mean, he's a real tough fight. So I don't want to fight that guy for nothing, for free. So the thing is, I said, we got to build that fight up. I said, put them both on the same show a couple of times and build that fight up. I mean, the science of building fights is kind of lost nowadays with these promoters. And the thing is, it used to be because they're afraid to put 2 big fights in the same show because it's going to cut somebody's money somewhere. But the thing is, they need to promote these fights and build up the attraction and the attention of the general public. I wanted Marquez so badly though for his next fight and for his American debut because matchmaking is timing and I think it's the right time. I know it's not an easy fight, but I think it's one that we can win. But that didn't happen. Nacho decided not to fight us. So Paulie Malignaggi was the next guy out there. I don't even really want to fight Paulie though because he's such an asshole. That I mean, this guy. I mean, I used to respect this guy and like him, but he opens his mouth and says that Amir's on steroids now because he trains with Freddy Roach and stuff. He's giving me I might smack him when I see him. I might. I mean, I'm pissed off about that with him. I mean, I feel like pulling Amir out of the fight and telling him, go get a payday somewhere else because there's no paydays for you. I said, you've knocked out 5 guys in your career. I said, there must have been 5 girls, I swear. This guy. But if Amir doesn't knock him out, I'll be very disappointed.
Just what are his thoughts on, like, some of the fans kind of, siding with Floyd and kind of accusing him of things, without any substantial? Has that affected Manny at all?
Well, yeah, that's why the lawsuit is still happening, and we will win that lawsuit. I'm sure, because he has no proof, no evidence whatsoever. It is slander. It is defamation of character. He's trying to ruin Manny's reputation, and Manny's the cleanest guy in the world. He's the cleanest guy I know. So the lawsuit is going on, and we are going to sue him and Golden Boy, and we're going to win that lawsuit.